Hey everybody, how's it going? Octopus here, and welcome back to Union Cross. We're going to be doing the new Adamantite ore challenge. It's the stroke of midnight. I haven't leveled up the keyblade yet, but that's no problem. I am looking forward to doing that. For now, I'm just going to go in with my free-to-play account and see if I can just make like a common keyblade everybody could use. Hopefully, I don't know. Last Adamantite quests weren't too hard, and now that we have the strength buff, all buffs basically upgraded to tier 7, this should be very simple. It's not in events. We're gonna go to special tab. Under special tab, now because we're on Wednesday, we have the stroke of midnight added with the 3 wishes. So now Wednesdays are 3 wishes and stroke of midnight, which is really good. Also guys, don't forget, right at the bottom right here, we have stroke of midnight materials. If you're new to the game and you haven't upgraded any of your keyblades yet, I would recommend doing these quests at least 3 to 5 times each. Do 5 times just in case to be safe, but it's very simple. It gives you 30 jewels for completing, so anything in the special tabs give you 30 jewels for completing. But all you gotta do is run around collecting a bunch of materials, so it's straightforward, easy, 30 jewels, and when you finally do level up your keyblade, you're gonna have all the materials you need. So don't forget to log in every day. Well, you don't have to log in every day, but when you do log in, don't forget to go check the special tab. Under the special tab, you're going to see an upgrade material quest for all the keyblades throughout the week. So don't miss out on that, especially when it's 0 AP, because this costs, I think, a whooping 20 or more SP to actually, or not SP, there's so many Ps in this game, but it takes 20 or more AP per quest or per run. It might even be 30. I can't remember because we always have 0 AP now. But you guys want to do this as much as possible for each keyblade if you're new and all your keyblades are not at level 25 yet. Once you're level 25, it doesn't really matter. You're good to go from there because all it costs is like speed gems, power gems, magic gems, and then etc. So until all your keyblades are level 25, do these quests, guys. Do these quests, farm these materials, and then on the weekend there's the mithril quest for the mithril gems, mithril shards, not mithril shards, but the other one. You want to do that quest as well. Just go through the whole thing. As you can see, in my first time completing this, we got 30 of the jewels and small buttons plus the silk handkerchief. We got 15 and 22. So this is a lot better than doing the story mode over and over again. This is a nice, quick, clean clear. I got to get in the attack boost 2 later and then do the enemy 1 turn. That's totally fine. I got to do it a couple times for this count anyways. But that part, you guys should be doing every day. Don't forget, right now, SIDS, we got SIDS going on, but that's not the point of this video. I'm not going to buy that, that's for sure. The point of the video, guys, we're going to do the Adamantite Ore Challenge on a free-to-play account. You guys know this account already. I've only pulled 9 times, and that was just recently. I did the extra 5 for my Kyrie. Everybody, you guys should have a Kyrie. If you don't, and you just started about a month already, re-roll your account. Make a new account because right now they're giving a bunch of free jewels. I think it's a little bit less than when I made my re-roll guide video. I think it's like 3,000 jewels less, but it's still better because if you completed all those quests from story mode and you wasted those jewels already for pulls, you lost a lot of potential for a lot of good future stuff. So if you don't have Kyrie and you're not going to be able to pull her before this whole banner ends, definitely re-roll a new account. Keep both if you want to, but I would recommend getting her because on my main account, she's doing wonders. She's just incredible. So I'm going to make a quick keyblade setup and then I'll explain it and I'll come right back. Alright, we're back. So I'm going to make this as simple as possible. As you guys saw, I had an aerial and flounder and a Kyrie. That combined together gives me a ×6 strength buff. I took that away because I want to try to make this as close as possible to the free-to-play players who are new to the game as well. So if you haven't done one of the quests yet, there's a beginner's quest. It gives you a Diz medal. It raises strength by 1 tier for 1 turn. There's a strength buffer if you guys don't have one. And just find anything else that you guys have or another 1 strengther. So I have ×2 strength right now. Nothing crazy. I don't even have the basic ×3 strength. And I think that should be good enough. I am using Moana here because Moana is a really good AoE medal. If you are new to the game and we're looking at some new medals, Young Kyrie, good potential, very good damage, just like the Moana medal. Just Moana gets 2 more buffs compared to her. You can also use anything you guys pulled. If you pull a key art like this, a 2.54 multiplier is still very good. As you guys can see, she has a 1.6 at 100% guilt. That means her multiplier is 3.2. So even though he's not guilted, he still has a good multiplier. That's all that is guilt. Guilt makes this multiplier bigger. So if you have a keyblade that has a big multiplier, use that because that's a very strong keyblade. Or sorry, very strong metal. Like right here, we got a 2.73, and it just gets bigger and bigger than that the more new medals you have, the tier 4s, tier 5. So if you got lucky and you got something really good, go at it. My Divine Rose is level 30, so this slot, or not even level 30, I think I made it, yeah, it's level 28, so it's not a fully upgraded Keyblade of the Divine Rose, because this would be a 3.0 multiplier. So this should be more towards anybody who's not so new, like you guys didn't start during the anniversary, but not too old either, where you guys shouldn't have a Divine Rose at plus 26 at least. So I don't have any SP, which should be totally fine. I do got that Kairi. Kairi's gonna fully help me out here. I'm gonna go with the friend medal that everybody should have on their friend list, besides a bunch of Kairis that are guilted. She's only doing 20,000 damage, so that's not gonna really help anyone. I can go old school right here, Marluxia B. Marluxia B is a good candidate. Or I can try something else. I know there's something else that's really good that came out. Oh, Maleficent. If you guys see a Maleficent on your friend list, then use Maleficent for the power enemies. But I'm gonna go, is this the one? Yep, here we go, Maleficent. I'm just gonna use Maleficent because it's newer. A lot of people in your parties might have it if they started about a month ago. Not even, you don't need to be that old. It's pretty new. It was right before the Union Cross update. So what we're gonna do here is go ×1 strength here. As you guys can see on my character, I got a 1 sword right there. I'm gonna go ×2 strength. So now I'm at ×2 strength and 1 defense. So I got 2 times strength, which is really good. Kairi's gonna restore 10, and then Moana should basically take this out because she has her self buff. Again, it's not needed Moana because you guys see I still have the friend medal to activate and Zigbar. So this first quest is straightforward, really easy. I'm not even using full strength buff going here. I'm using ×2 strength. So don't be afraid to grab a bunch of Dizzes or VVs or whatever you have that says raises strength by 1 tier for 1 turn. It's going to do wonders. And then whatever your strongest blue medal is, if you're using the Divine Rose, you can also use the Olympia. You can use whatever you guys have. Just make sure your medal that's doing damage has a good multiplier on him. So this last Giga Shadow here, again, ×2 strength. Very easy. It doesn't matter how much SP you guys waste now, Kairi basically takes care of everything, which is great. Moana finishes off with a little bit of Zigbar in the end. Again, Zigbar is probably not even needed. I'm going to use my level 58 Nova. You guys can see now that my picture's not covering. I'm going to use Zigbar to tap, and then a friend medal Maleficent, and let's see what this does. More than enough, guys. More than enough damage. That Maleficent's actually really, really good. If you guys roll a trade on her, I recommend highly plus 1000 attack. I know double attack seems like the better choice, but when you hit those higher level enemies and you don't have the proper amount of buffs, or even high tier Colosseum, having the extra 1000 attack will be a lot better for you, because if you hit a certain enemy that has too much defense, even if you double attack, it's all going to do 1 damage, so there's no point of double attack on those kind of medals. As for the third Mickey head here, guys, equip the Stroke of Midnight. Complete the quest first, and then come back later on with the Stroke of Midnight and try to complete it. Completing that part is totally optional. All you want is those Adamantite ores. So that's all you really need. Second quest, I'm going to go with the same exact setup. Whatever you guys did to pass the first quest with, continue using that. And then when you get stuck, modify it. That's when you start tweaking with everything. Until then, just use what you use that's helping you pass everything. Everybody should have a Keyblade setup that is really well-rounded and be able to use on anything. I know Moana's not going to really help any of the new players out, but you guys can see Moana does take care of a lot of stuff. So if you guys have a medal that's higher than a 1.6 multiplier, which 100% guilt is 3.2. So as long as you have an AoE medal that does more than 3.2, you guys are fine. You can use single target medals. Just use 2 copies on the blue slots instead. There's so many things you guys can do. I'm just trying to make this as weak as possible and enough strength to at least pass it. So you don't need the crazy ×3 strength buffers. Just grab a couple of the little ones. If necessary, maybe just rely on your reverse speed medal and put 3 of the ×1 buffers. I might change that up as we go into the quest, because it should get harder. The first 2 quests is basically anything you guys want to do, you're good. If you are new and you haven't upgraded, not even new, if you haven't upgraded your Stroke of Midnight yet, I would recommend getting all the materials on the floor. The more you do as you just play, the faster it will just build up. Instead of just trying to get it all later on, just get it all now, get it out of the way. That's why I recommend logging in every day to do that one quest where it says material farm, and that should help you no problem. The thing that's really helping us here though is Kyrie. The new Kyrie Kingdom Hearts 2, guys. Even my main account is benefiting from her. She's doing so much just because of restoring 10 SP. I can use a lot of heavy costing medals that cost like 5 SP, 6 SP, and not even sweat it. I'm passing so much because of that. I even use Nova here. Kyrie's more than enough. Not Kyrie, sorry. Moana's more than enough for that. That was perfectly fine. But these quests, the first two is no issue at all. It's the next quest that kind of gets to you. Now my recommendations for the third quest and so on, if the enemies do have buffs on them, like they got a tribute buff up, general defense up, all that, bring in Alice, Belle, Antiform Sora, whatever you guys can bring in to take away their buffs. Because a lot of reason these are really hard is because of how many buffs these enemies have. Then later on it's because they're level 400 and then you need your own general defense down. But for level 200 enemies, it's still very easy. All you gotta do is get rid of those buffs they have. See how they have all those attribute buffs going on? You're either gonna raise your attribute strength up as high as possible, or you need to take away their defense buffs. If you don't take away their defense buffs, they're gonna have an issue. But again, Kyrie buffs you and debuffs you, so it should be more than enough. Moana here is gonna swipe and probably take out a good chunk, 30,000 HP. I'm gonna drop my Nova here. I didn't need to drop Nova there because Moana says raises the magic strength by 3 attacks. Nova counts as one of those attacks. So don't use your Nova after Moana or any medal that says that. Save your Nova for before that. So my choice here is I gotta 1-turn everything. So defeat all enemies in 1 turn. And the one with the highest HP is the blue copter here. So what I'm gonna do is just tap the blue copter so he has about equal HP and see if my friend medal can take this out. Attack boost 4 activates, and hopefully this is enough. Okay, so it's not enough. I'm gonna come back with a different setup and see if I can tweak this just a little bit to make it better. I'll be right back. Alright, so we're back. I got a new little setup. I'm gonna use Olympia with Hercules and Phil. Again, I could use the new Maleficent Bee medal, but I haven't really upgraded her or did anything to her. But my Hercules and Phil is fully upgraded with Attack Boost 3. I'm going to use this setup here. This is all event medals. Even the Sebastian is attainable to a lot of the, I guess, not too new players, but a little bit newer than people who've been playing for a very long time. Again, you guys could pull Illustrated Kyrie. You guys could get the new KR5 or use Pooh and a Diz together. That's a ×3 buffer. So I'm going to use a ×3 buffer for this. It's not going to help too many new players, but hopefully this just gives you the general idea how to make your Keyblade stronger and all that. So same thing, I'm going to go with that Maleficent because everything else is not free to play friendly here. My group basically has all of their super duper medals up and running right now. You guys could be lucky and you have someone in your party who pulled 2 Soras. A lot of people got very, very lucky, but I do want to stick to just event medals. Maybe even just use my Marluxia B instead. I don't know. I'm going to go with Maleficent. That should be good enough. So here we go. Let's try this new setup on these 3 helicopter fleets. My ×3 buffer. Get that out there. I don't have any SP or APP on it because it doesn't really matter at this point now that we have Kyrie. Even SP gauge 1 is not necessary most of the time. It depends if you're 1-turning and 2-turning things. But Attack Boost 3 went off and we got, there we go. Quest complete, guys. Hercules and Phil, more than enough. And then a young Titus to clean it up. All event medals, very simple. Just because possibly of the ×3 buffer, that helps a lot. And also Maui buffs by 3 power, which is incredible. So first 3 quests, not too hard. Again, it's not new free to play, but it is a free to play setup. This was all obtainable as event medals or just doing the high score challenges, stuff like that. And the high score challenge of Sebastian was available to everybody basically. So this is where it gets a little bit harder. Now we're talking about a very long quest with a lot of RNG involved in it because we have hammers that paralyze you, so on and so on. I'm going to use this one because it's a very strong AoE setup, and I do enjoy this setup quite a bit. Maleficent B, because the target enemy is a power enemy, we should be okay. Again, don't forget to collect your materials, very important. The hard thing about this is how much HP we're going to lose facing these guys. So because they attack us before we get to actually do anything, we need to make sure we leave this level with a good amount of HP. It might be a little bit too difficult without this, without the amount of HP I got or armor, because I don't have all 6 stars. I got full HP right now, but I'm pretty sure this fountain right here is going to take us out because of ×2. So we got to do something about that. Alright, so I had to mess around with a little bit of my keyblade here. I upgraded my Sebastian to level 6, and I put 1,000 chips, or sorry, Dales, on my Kairi so I have more defense, and then I added defense boost too, because the gargoyle, the second gargoyle in this quest, actually one-shots us. So I'm doing just a little bit more here. I took away some power to add more defense, because I think Hercules is more than enough to take this out, but we need defense boost to activate on this guy, so I'm going to restart this a couple times until that happens. Alright, there we go. Defense boost 2 activated off the start. Hopefully there's not too many of these guys, because that's kind of annoying that takes a lot of RNG. On my main account, I am a higher level. I'm level 300, so I had more avatar boards that had HP on it. So if I do have more HP, I could survive, but sadly this account doesn't have the HP. There we go. Hercules and Phil, way more than enough damage to actually take out one of these guys. So this guy doesn't one-shot us. It's pretty close. If he gets a critical, he will. But defense boost is not necessary for this one right here. So I'm going to try this over maybe a couple times, because I'm guessing later on a lot of the enemies are going to get really annoying or really tough. So we'll see what happens. Attack boost 3 didn't activate, but Hercules and Phil with the ×3 buff and Maui is more than enough. So we got here one of these big dudes. He's level 225. He doesn't even need defense boost on him. But we do have to take him out in one turn, because if he hits us, I'm pretty sure we're going to get knocked out if a defense boost doesn't happen. But all the time, guys, you have Kairi. Kairi's going to restore your SP. Go all out every single fight. Here we go. This guy's a little bit more tricky because he does have that tribute buff up. So we are not going to do as much damage as we're doing to the other guys. But if we buff our character high enough, we should be able to take him out. Even with the attack boost 3, more than enough damage. Hercules and Phil, guys, if you haven't leveled him up, I really highly recommend leveling him up, putting the chips on him, and an attack boost on him. Very, very good medal, especially if you have all these buffing medals. You guys are in the clear. Even if our Hercules and Phil doesn't fully clear these guys, we got a friend medal to clean up. So we have more than enough to do this here. Sorry, just gotta clear my... Sorry, my throat was itchy. So, same thing through the whole quest. It looks like we're fine. We are running out of SP, but that's totally okay, because if worst case scenario, on a weaker enemy in the beginning, just don't use Maui and you should be okay. Here's the next annoying part. This hammer right here, he's going to paralyze us. So, it's going to affect us greatly if we cannot buff our Hercules and Phil. We got a ×3 buff off. That's good. Hopefully get Maui. And now after Maui, Kairi. Oh, that's not good. None of our attack medals. None of our attack medals. So I'll be right back. Alright, so you guys didn't see it, but what I did was I went straight to the white chocolate fountain and then straight to the hammer. Once the RNG was good on those two fights, the paralysis didn't affect any of my medals and defense boost 2 went off. Now I'm going to clear the other enemies, because that was the annoying part, was basically those two guys right there. After that, it's pretty much good to go. As you can see, Hercules and Phil is more than enough to do all of this, guys. And these are event medals. These are not even medals that you can pull and guild that are tier 4s and tier 5s. This was tier 3s that were released for free for everybody. And if you are new to the game, you might be sitting there thinking, well, I don't got this medal. Eventually, you guys will have these medals. So it's not super important to level up all these keyblades right away. Just have your main keyblade. This might sound repetitive to my subscribers that have been watching since I've been making guides for everything, but anybody who's new, this is very useful. Just focus on Olympia or Divine Rolls or Stroke of Midnight, whatever one is your best to match your medals. So if you have a lot of good reverse speed medals, go for a keyblade with a really good reverse speed slot. But so far it's been upright power and reverse speed that have been shining, and then a lot of upright magic, which fits on the Divine Rolls really, really good. So it's up to you guys. You guys go look at what you pull, what you acquire from quests and all that. I'm not even sure this one will actually one-shot us. But yeah, you guys got to go by what you guys actually own on your keyblades or in your medal list to actually figure out what keyblade's important for you. I'm running out of SP though. This is very heavy costing SP. Again, Sebastian would have an SP gauge 1 or 2 on him, but because this is my free-to-play account, I had an Aerial and Flounder, and now I have a Kyrie, so there's no point to me wasting an SP gauge 1. I just wanted to put that there because a lot of people, when they turn on the video and they see Aerial and Flounder or Kyrie, they automatically turn it off. They're like, oh no, this is not going to help me, so I'm not going to watch it. And it's kind of a downer, but what am I going to do? So I am out of SP because of that issue right there, but hopefully attack boost 3 goes off and that should be enough even without the Maui buff, because our friend medal should be the cleanup medal. It should be. If not, I got to do this again with my own ×3 buffer, but there you go. Even without Maui's power buff, you guys can probably take away Maui power buff and add something else that just lowers the defense of the enemies or raises your power strength by 1 tier for 1 turn. That should be fine too. I'm probably going overboard for this. You guys don't really need that Maui there. So we got 1 quest left, which is the last quest, which is usually the hardest quest, and I think it's... I forgot what it is already. I did mine like a couple hours ago. Oh, it's the Ringmaster. I believe there was 3 Ringmasters in this whole level, so I do need to get more SP. I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, last part, I'm going to go in with the same exact setup. Hercules, Kyrie, Maui, Sebastian. I'm going to switch around Sebastian just because the SP is hurting me. If you guys have Sebastian, you should have an SP gauge 1 or 2 on him. No questions asked about that, because having that 6 SP is really, really painful. So I'm going to go back down to 3 SP. If you do have Sebastian, SP gauge 1 or 2 is better than my Aerial and Flounder because you're wasting less SP. So don't let that discourage you that you see Aerial and Flounder there. It's the same exact medal as that's Sebastian. So for friend medal, we are going to switch it up because our friend medal is not good versus speed. So we are going to use another speed versus speed since nobody is sharing a Hercules and Phil, which is very painful. Other free medals, I don't really see anything, guys. So I'm just going to go with Marluxia B. Marluxia B should be more than enough here. Again, you guys can use something else and you'll be better off than I am right now. But I just want to keep it as free-to-play, event-style medals as possible, even though Kyrie's not one of them. But here we go, attack boost 2 max. But I can't really do anything about it. It is what it is, guys. Everybody should have a Kyrie. If you don't, re-roll that account. It's definitely going to make a big difference in the long run. Even though it sucks losing an account that you've had for an entire month, trust me on this, having this Kyrie in your setup is going to make a big difference. Especially because all those story mode quests are untouched. So what we got here, it looks like the Remaster doesn't die from 1 shot, but our friend medal is more than enough to clean it up. So there you go, that is all of the quests completed. I'm pretty sure the rest of this room is not going to be as hard. I'm not even using a strong upright green medal. I'm using the Chip and Dale. It doesn't have any chips of itself. It doesn't have attack boost. This is all from Maui, Kyrie, and the Hercules and Phil guys. The first 4 medals are what basically take care of us. Attack boost 3 didn't go off this time, but even if it didn't go off, I think Marluxia B should be more than enough. So if you don't have attack boost 3 on your Hercules and Phil, I think this is good enough, guys. Oh, it isn't. So I need attack boost 3 to go off. I ate my words right there real quick. But I'm going to continue this just for the sake of the video. I don't want to keep resetting over and over and over again just for attack boost 3 to actually proc, because there's no point of that. You guys already know that this is possible. I am going to do my buff here, and that should be good enough. There you go. So again, if you don't have the Chip and Dale there and put something else instead of Chip and Dale, like that young Sora should be able to clean this up, no problem. If anything, I should have put young Sora back in. But this is the end of the video. This is very simple, guys. All of it's a lot easier now that the tier strength has been raised to 7. So you guys can actually make a lot better setups than this as well. This is just basically going bare minimum. So there's definitely not enough power right now in this, but Nova plus a little bit more. All I need is my attack boost 3 to go off. If attack boost 3 went off, I would have been totally fine. Better friend medal, better medal in the 5th slot of this keyblade. There's obviously other keyblades you guys can use to actually do this. It's just something I came up real quick, and I want to drop as much information as possible to help out you guys. Hopefully a lot of this did help out, but this is straightforward. If attack boost 3 goes off, you guys are going to see, again, it didn't go off. That's fine. So it's a lot of resets. It's a lot of RNG, but if you have attack boost 3 max on Hercules and Phil, it really helps. Stuff like that. But It's very possible, very straightforward. I know a lot of these medals, a lot of you guys won't have, but it just proves that event medals are good enough, guys. Event medals that they give out through the game will take care of you. If you guys have Mughal Glory, use that, Limit Break, that's pretty cool. Use that Mughal Glory if you have it at plus 25 or 26 with the new Maleficent B medal. That's as strong as this Hercules and Phil setup. Just make sure you have some magic buffs to go along with it, like Moana. If you have Moana and Maleficent B, very good setup. Anyone who's newer, just mix and match as many buffs and debuffs as you guys can fit on your Keyblade. But that's the whole thing. I didn't defeat it all in one turn, but you guys saw I took down the first group if Attack Boost 3 went off. Attack Boost 3 didn't go off on the next two. This would have been a full clear, no question about it. But for the sake of the video again, I just want to make this as clean as possible and as fast as possible. Let me know in the comments what you guys have done to actually pass these quests so it helps out other people. Give some suggestions in the comment section. I really like to see that. Just helping out the community. If you did a better setup than this, let me know. Or not let me know, just let the community know. I obviously have better medals for this, but I want to make this as basic as possible. So give out some simple setups in the comments, or give out whatever your setup was. So if you had some really good medals, it doesn't really matter. It helps out everybody to see different setups. The more the community can pass, the easier multiplayer becomes. So it's just like help out everybody, because the game is actually really fun. It's just frustrating when you don't know what's going on and how to properly buff your Keyblade and stuff like that. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.